In this episode, we'll cover a few of our recent arrests, including a burglary with a foot pursuit, how stop sticks were used to stop a fleeing suspect in a stolen vehicle, and we'll tell you about how a local wildlife rehabilitator nursed a severely injured animal back to health. I'm Lieutenant Lemery. We'll have all of that and more next. We're back with a new edition of the Community First Month in Review as we give you a look at the things you may or may not have heard about as the Sheriff's Office strives to best serve the community in a multitude of ways. We begin in the town of Fort Anne. Deputies responded to a residence on Buttermilk Falls Road for a report of a possible burglary in progress. As deputies approached the residence, one of the suspects fled out of the house on foot with a deputy not far behind.
Stop! Stop!
The chase went through a wooded area, across a roadway, and into a creek where the suspect was taken into custody.
Give me your other hand. Give me your other hand.
That suspect was identified as Jeremy M. Danahy, age 42 of Queensbury. He was charged with burglary in the second degree, assault in the second degree, resisting arrest, and criminal mischief. Meanwhile, back at the residence, additional officers had found 3 more in the house, and they were taken into custody. They were identified as Alexia L. Azan, age 20 of Fort Edward. She was charged with burglary in the second degree, criminal impersonation, filing a false instrument, and criminal mischief. Also at the residence was Alyssa G. Loftman, age 40 of Hadley. She was charged with burglary in the second degree and criminal mischief. And Christopher S. Wern, age 40 of Queensbury. He was also charged with burglary in the second degree and criminal mischief. In another case you may have heard about, deputies received a report of a larceny of a vehicle from a residence in Argyle. An investigation ensued throughout the day as deputies tracked down various leads. Later that afternoon, the stolen pickup truck was spotted by Glens Falls police. However, the suspect sped off when police tried to stop him. The suspect continued into South Glens Falls and further into Saratoga County as officers discontinued the pursuit. Ultimately, the vehicle was spotted again and was headed back towards Washington County, but our deputies were ready for him. Adding to the urgency, information had previously been relayed that the suspect was possibly armed with a firearm. As the suspect refused to stop for state police, deputies set up the Stinger, also known as stop sticks, which puncture the tires and allow the safe release of air. That was a direct hit right over the Stinger, and the vehicle came to a stop about a half a mile down the road. 2 suspects were taken into custody, and it was later learned that they were both juveniles. The driver was a 16-year-old from Fort Edward, and he also had a 15-year-old passenger from Granville. Both were to be charged as juveniles and will answer a slew of charges in family court. No weapon was recovered. Back in August of this year, deputies were called to an accident scene where a motorist had struck a Bobcat. The Bobcat was still alive but was severely injured and cranky. ALEXIS WILDCARE, a local wildlife rehabilitator, arrived to help. Utilizing a ballistic shield for protection, deputies assisted ALEXIS in getting the Bobcat ready for transport. A Cornell veterinary team at Janet L. Swanson's Wildlife Hospital agreed to perform life-saving surgery on the Bobcat, which was named Claudia. Team surgically repaired Claudia's fractured pelvis and jaw. She then spent her recovery time at ALEXIS WILDCARE until she was strong enough to be released back into the wild. On November 19th, Claudia was released back into the wild at an undisclosed location within Washington County, far away from vehicles and roadways. A link to ALEXIS WILDCARE's social media channels is in the video description if you'd like to see clips of Claudia's recovery. Have you seen the warning about the new iPhone feature called Name Drop? The feature allows anyone, including strangers, to share contact information by simply holding two iPhones close to each other. And in the latest update, the feature is enabled by default. Here's how to turn it off. You'll want to go to Settings, click on General, click on AirDrop, and where you see bringing devices together, change that to off. With that setting off, your information will not send, and we recommend you check your children's devices as well. Lastly, do you know someone that could use a snowmobile safety course? We have a free course at the Law Enforcement Center in Fort Edward, but you will have to register quickly as it is being held on December 2nd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. All registrants must be 10 years of age at the time of the course, and the link to the sign-up is in this video's description. Or you can check our website at washingtoncountiny.ny.gov and click on the Sheriff's page. Tune in next time and be sure to follow us on our social media platforms. Until then, I'm Lieutenant Lemery, and that was our Month in Review.